Hey guys, so how you doing? All right, so this is what I believe, right? I'm gonna be 50 years young in a few, January 10th, and it's November 3rd today. Actually, I got a chance to interview Charlie Lee of all people. That's gonna be awesome. Anyway, so I started training 4 weeks ago. Been putting in 5 days a week. Get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm actually laying in a hot tub because my body needs to rest, you need the heat. But the deal is that when I asked myself, what would I have done different when I was younger? The answer is I would have competed more. What else I would have done? I would have fought to keep the quality of martial arts consistent with what I considered, or my generation considered, real karate, or real sport karate as it is. Let's think about it for a second. Here it is. It's 80 something, 85, 86. And if you throw a technique, you get 1 point. Now this technique might have been a kick, a punch, a sweep or a follow-up, a cartwheel kick. It didn't really matter. Then what happens? The following year, they say no more sweeps allowed. You can't have the opponent even if they're down, whether they tripped or not. And if you throw a kick, it's 2 points. Now let's think about that for a second. If you are a person whose your bread and butter technique was a sweep and a punch, and all of a sudden they said, no, that does not have the same value of a kick. Now this is, mind you guys, I was known as a kicker, and I can still probably do it better than most. However, that's not what I'm talking about. Just the right thing. So styles like, whether it was Kung Fu, traditional Japanese or Okinawan styles, can still compete with what would be a so-called Taekwondo rule. But it's not really fair. So a lot of these people left with good reason. That's one thing. Another thing is that the ball had to go inside the hoop for it to get 2 points in the 80s. How many basketball players would have stopped playing basketball as a sport if all of a sudden they went to the yard and someone hit the rim and said, yay, 2 points, and everybody else said, oh yeah, that's 2 points, and you're like, what are you talking about? And they say, oh, you old school. So we lost people there from the 80s to the 90s. And then in the 90s, the hitting the rim was the rule of thumb. And then the gangs came in. The gangs were the teams. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Like, what are you doing? These guys were ripping off a lot of children. Still do to this very day, which is a sad situation to me. And then you had, in 2000, all you had to do is hit the backboard, and you still got 2 points. Just move fast. And then everybody started just copying each other. When a Joey Schiffler did not fight like Keith Vitale, who didn't fight like Billy Blank, who didn't fight like Ray McCallum, who didn't fight like Robert Harris, who didn't fight like Jesse Thornton, etc., etc., etc. There were so many different styles of fighters, and no one dared bite or copy. Today, that's what they do. They copy. And that's okay if that's what they want to do. But it's not a smart strategy if you want to win. Props to someone like Justin Ortiz and probably Ross Levine. They fight more like a throwback. Ross Levine and Justin Ortiz fight more like the 80s style in terms of really trying to score on somebody predominantly. Ortiz being the shorter guy, lighter guy, kicking people in the head, finishing number one. That's no joke. But again, the point is that sport karate has not changed. People that run it change. And I don't blame them. They got tired of having to fight for what would be keeping quality. Anyhow, it's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I am 1,000% committed to making sure that I have an opportunity as a spectator to enjoy myself. And that does not happen and has not happened in about 20 years. There's something wrong with that. There's something absolutely wrong with that. Now, mind you, every once in a while I see techniques that are like awesome. I seen Raymond Daniels hit somebody with a back handspring. Oh, I was freaking in awe. That was incredible. Well, that would be illegal right now. So I think that every technique should be scored 1 point, even though the difficulty is higher. Is a neutralizer. To sweep somebody when they got some great kicks is not an easy thing to do. To score on them afterwards, that's not an easy thing to do. So just because you are allowed to do a cartwheel and it's a point, it shouldn't be more than 1 point, because I think that it just makes sense to model after things that worked in the past. Anyhow, that's my belief. I will actually answer a few more questions that people are posing, and I'll come back.